Segment 2, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Thanks to my entire technical crew, Sonny Hersh. Watch all our shows on the web at www.ntnm.org. And community policing, don't want you to forget about that. Try to get involved in CAPS in your area. If you're in the 24th District, which is basically West Rogers Park and Rogers Park, Sonny Hersh, our entire technical crew, is the chairman of the District Advisory Committee. You can check all the CAPS meetings at caps24.org. It is my pleasure right now to introduce you to a new guest on the show, somebody who's certainly made more than his share of waves and has been in the papers quite a lot lately, the alderman of the 28th Ward, as well as a candidate for the Democratic slot for Recorder of Deed, Alderman Ed Smith. Alderman Smith, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It's good that you'd have us on. We're very glad to be here.
First of all, my pleasure. And now, where is the 28th Ward?
28th Ward is on the west side of Chicago. Actually, the boundary starts at Western Avenue, goes all the way to Central Avenue, up north to Chicago Avenue, and then south to 24th Street. It's a rather large area.
Interesting. My mother was probably my mother grew up at 16th and Hamlin.
Yes, that's just outside of the ward, just outside. Because of the phalanges goes in and out, so we missed that part of the ward.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit familiar. Some of the I actually, in real life, I don't do this for a living. I wish I did. But I get involved in publishing and printing, and my binderies are basically located right near there in your ward.
Okay.
So, in any event, okay, so Recorder, you've 24 years you've been in as alderman?
24 years in the Chicago City Council, came in 1983 during the election with Harold Washington, and have served since then. And we've had a pretty interesting career in the Chicago City Council, and I've been one of those people who have sort of looked at the City Council in a different kind of way, given out efforts to make sure that the people own the council the way it should be. Government's supposed to be of the people, by the people, and for the people. So I've been one of those people who have been on that part of the council, and it makes it very interesting.
No, I think interesting is very good. I used to cover city council in the mid-'70s, and I used to call it the Wax Museum.
Because of all the dead weight that was there?
Yeah.
Well, we got some pretty interesting people now in the city council, and we have had over the years since I've been there, there have always been a few people who have been vigilant in the process of making government what it ought to be. And I've always been, as an independent Democrat, of course the city council is non-party, but I'm a Democrat who's independent, and I've always worked independently. And I just feel that you have to do those things that not only is good for government, but is applicable for the understanding of people. So we work on those parts that needs to be changed, and we do our best to make sure we get those changes.
Very good. I know that certainly you've been in the forefront of the news lately in terms of not just your opposition to... by the way, for those of you who don't know, as we film, this is the day after the city council vote on the budget.
Yes.
And, of course, you were on the forefront of the fight against the mayor's tax increases and various tax increases, as well as, I should let you explain what the 28 is and the disclosure that you want.
Well, we want the administration to release the names of the police officers who have over 10, what they call CR numbers, which mean 10 violations apparently against the general public. And those names have been sealed, and the administration refuses to give us those names. And we are saying that because we are in government, we are elected officials, and there are people out here who have sent us here to be a part of government, then anything that the people want, they ought to be made party to. So we're working to get those names released to the general public. Because if you got bad police officers, then we have a responsibility not only to let the public know who those are, but we have a responsibility to generate that information to the general public. And we have to do whatever we possibly can do that's within our realm to do that. And so we have gone as far as having an attorney to file our request in the courts. Now, when we went to Judge Lufto and asked her to step up and have them generate that information, she said, in the last time we were in court, she said, well, I have done my part. I have said that those names should be released to the general public. I've said to the administration they have a responsibility. Now it's out of my hand. So now we're asking a lawyer to go even further, to take it to a higher court and see if we can get those names released.
And one of the things I don't understand is why, it's a funny conception. There's over 10,000 police officers. And if you've got 10,000 anybody's, and of course, I actually run my community policing meetings in my area, and Sonny does too, so we support the police and community policing. But you can't have 10,000 of anybody without having actually more than 28 bad ones. That's just the nature of the beast.
Well, you should not have a few bad apples to taint the whole police department. Chicago has some great policemen. There's no question about that. There are great policemen in all of these districts. But you've got some bad policemen. I tell people all the time, with Jesus Christ had 12, one of those were bad. so obviously you're going to have some bad policemen. And we want to open up this system and open up these files where the people can know who they are.
Okay, very good. I think that's very interesting, and I give you a lot of credit for fighting the fight. That's for sure. That's
what we're there for. Now, we had an interesting thing a couple of years ago. We started with the no smoking ban in Chicago. And we were told at the outset, this ban is not going to be passed because the mayor is adverse. And so you're not going to pass it. And we felt that the public ought to be able to go into a public place and be able to sit down and have a meal without being drenched with smoke. Secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke is a killer. 8 people a day in the state of Illinois die from secondhand smoke. So why should we allow people to continuously to die and we not step up and try to do something about it? We fought that battle. And the final analysis, after about 2 years of fighting, carrying on, we got it passed. And now, as of January 1st, based on what we did in Chicago, the whole state of Illinois is going to be smoke-free.
Well, as an ex-smoker in only about 4 years, I'm not going to get on your case anymore. But I know definitely you've got the popular sentiment along those lines. Let's talk about the Recorder of Deeds race. Why? Okay, you've been a very successful alderman. Obviously, you've been there a long time. You're still a young man, so you've got a future as alderman. But Recorder of Deeds. I mean, obviously, you want to take another step. And first of all, tell us what Recorder of Deeds actually does.
Well, they file all your documents, house documents. Anything that has to do with deeds, they file it. That's basically what they do. Obviously, we have done some things in the Chicago City Council that we feel that we can use to go to that recorder's office and make some changes. We're an advocate. We're just an advocate for good government. We've always been that, and we think we can do that over there. There are some problems in the Recorder of Deeds office. The office basically has been an office where people would use it as a stepping stone to go to the next office. And its sediment, in terms of vision, it has not been there. For instance, this is a tax stamp.
Okay.
And this tax stamp has been used by the British. They used this in 1871. That's a fact. And right now, the records in the recorder's office, if there's a major fire, those records are going to be burned. We want to change the whole office and make it a modernized office where people can use it, have it accessible to wives who are in homes, in the kitchen, in offices. We want to modernize that office and make it a state-of-the-art office where people can use it without frustration. If you look at the website from the Recorder of Deeds office, it's frustrating. It's hard to get in, get the information you want. It's very difficult to get it. So we want to modernize it and make that office accessible to the general public. And then we want to advocate to change all of the system and have the model. The county treasurer's office is a model. We can use that office as a model for the Recorder of Deeds office. Those are some basic things that we want to do, and we want to professionalize and modernize the office. Those are the basic things that we want to do to it. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed. We think we can use our ability to make those changes and give this office to the general public.
So you're talking about, like, I could go on the internet and go look anything up?
That's correct. And you can do it expeditiously, not waste a lot of time. There's a lot of people who are lawyers in real estate. They have to go to that office, waste a lot of time trying to get information, and sometimes they don't get what they're looking for. That has to change because that office makes a lot of money, and that money can be used to modernize the office. That's what we want to do.
No, that'd be a good idea. I know that, well, as a matter of fact, at one point, Dorothy Brown used to be a frequent guest on the show, and she was a big fan of computerizing and get everything online, whichever she could with her office.
Well, housewives now are using computers to order from the grocery store.
Right.
Why can't you modernize the Recorder of Deeds office?
It should be done. There's no question. It's amazing to me what I mean, I can do my whole business. I can get books published and printed, without leaving my chair.
Exactly right, because you got the computer and the technology to do it.
Yeah, all I got to do is basically go pick the thing up, which actually I do over in your ward.
But if there's no vision, there's no vision and no vigilance, that will not happen. And that has not happened in the recorder's office.
Yeah, I don't even know that much. It's something that, I get much more involved in politics than the average person, and you know what the truth is? I don't even know anything about that office.
Well, you don't know anything about the office because you have not had the people in the office who would disseminate that kind of information. But all your warranty deeds, mortgage deeds, and all that stuff, they're filed there. But the people should know that, and that information should be disseminated in such a way that it is accessible immediately. And those are the things we want to work on.
Yeah, how big is the office?
Well, it has about 200 employees. It's a $10 million function as far as dollars are concerned. So it's not a small office. It's relatively large, but it could be used and much more accessible to the general public.
And, first of all, before we run out of time, I want to thank very much Mike Forshey. Is your campaign manager?
Mike Fouché is my campaign manager, and the person that I'm running against, his commitment is a co-campaign chairman. So we've got a lot of people who are involved in this campaign, and more people are coming on every day, and I want to thank all of those people who've gotten involved in this campaign. And we are going to go over there and run this office with integrity and character the way that we've done as being an alderman.
Very good. And if people want to contact your campaign?
Or they can call us at 708-450-1780.
Repeat again, 708.
708-450-1780.
And website?
We have not put up our website as of the campaign as of yet. That will be going up pretty soon, but the campaign, they can call us, and we can supply them with any information that they want.
Okay, very good. And hopefully you'll get that soon. At this point, I want to thank very much my guest, Alderman Ed Smith, candidate for Cook County Recorder of Deeds. Do you have a punch number yet, or that's too early?
Not yet. That's too early. Once we get the punch number, call us. We'll come back.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll be happy to do that. And I want to thank Mike Fouché again for being in contact and bringing Alderman Smith here. I want to thank my entire technical crew, Sonny Hersh. I hope you'll join us every single Thursday at 7:30 p.m., Friday at 2:30 p.m. on Channel 19 on CAN TV in Chicago. Channel 6 ECMC TV, 8 p.m. Thursdays in Evanston. Mondays at 6 p.m. on channels 19 and 35 and 35 North and Northwest suburbs. Go to our website, of course, at ntnm.org to get all the information about when the shows will air. And don't forget, just a couple days after you've seen this on the show, you can watch it on the web. All these shows are on YouTube. Over 15,000 shows watched at this point. So, feel free. We've got shows dating back close to a year at this point. I want to thank everybody for joining us, everybody. Join us again. Bye-bye.